YouTube, welcome back. Sorry for the break, it's been a couple weeks, but I do have a regular full-time job and other responsibilities like yard work and dog work and other dog work. Yeah, so we're going to get back to the boning knife. Found a couple flaws that I want to clean up. The beveled edges and right around the handle area I want to clean up. So we're going to get the process on that. Then I'm going to put an edge on it. So we'll see as soon as we get back to that. Due to the fact that I was going to put handle scales on this, or that I am going to, I didn't think too much about cleaning up the handle area. But where my scales are going to end is right up in this area above the first pinhole. But I got to clean all that off because that's exposed and I want it to be nice, clean presentation of a blade. So, as you see here, where this bevel is, when I rotate it, it's not such a clean bevel, so I'm going to have to bevel that in to make it match. You know, symmetrical is what I'm looking for. A good, clean product is the goal. But there's the boning knife, still in process, unfortunately. But again, we all have day-to-day jobs. I don't get paid to do this as a full-time bladesmith, but we're going to get back at it since I got out of work early and it's a beautiful day. After a short break of using the belt sander, I bring you back. Got our edge here. It transfers over to this side. I'm pretty good with that. If you notice, we also cleaned up this edge here to match this side where the handle scale's at, so none of this is going to be shown. So now it's time to start hand sanding all these little grooves from the belt sander out on the entire length of the blade all the way down. I also put close to an edge on it. I'm going to end up sharpening that with my sharpening stone, and then we're going to glue up the handles. Now I'm going to glue the handles on before I sharpen, but it's getting there. I'll show you my setup for how I'm going to end up hand sanding this. Not that I'm going to film hand sanding because nobody wants to see that. Might as well watch paint dry. So we'll be back in a moment. So what I have here is my makeshift bench that I was trying to use as a rig for beveling. It's just the blocks of wood again. But I got my little clamps on here holding this in place, and that's going to allow it to lay flat so that I can sand without interruption all the way down the length of the blade. And I'll flip it over and do the other side. At this point in time of the video, I'm going to do shout out section. Shout out to Chris Hervey for texting me and bugging me and saying, when's the next video? Then we got a shout out to Mr. Bill Fell, who harassed me about how long it takes me to make these knives, or to at least progress on them. Bill, that's why I said I do have a full-time job. Another shout out is going to be to an old friend of mine from the Army, James Hill. He stopped by last week and he brought me a knife that he found. I believe he said it was in a scrapyard. I'm coming out here because Bill also commented on the lighting. So this here is what James found at the scrapyard. Looks a lot like the K-bar from the Marine Corps, but it is actually called a Cattaraugus, if I'm spelling it right, or pronouncing it anyway. But it's a Cattaraugus 225Q. I did some research on this. Now, what James wanted to know was if I could restore this. It's got the leather stack handle just like the K-bar. That I can fix. The rust, I'm going to wire wheel that off and see how badly pitted it is. And if I can sand it down a bit to get it to where it's not pitted, that's what I'm going to do. But that's quite a heavy duty end on there. Pretty nice. But yeah, So this will be my next project, is restoring this, and we're just going to have to go from there. So again, YouTube, thank you very much for hanging out. Please make sure you subscribe and like. You might get to see more of Max. Max, what are you doing? He's chilling in the sun. Samantha, she probably went back in the house. She doesn't like hanging out when I'm working on blades and whatnot in the yard. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon. I'm going to get back at it here in the shop, and we'll catch you later. Take care, all. Bye.